Hello class. Today we'll be discussing on a topic regarding information management. So does anyone have any idea what information management might be? Definition or anything? Timmy? How about you? Then how about you, Johnny? Well guys, information management is a term used to describe the process handling, systemizing of information. It involves all components of an information system. It is a study of the intersection of people, information, and technology within an organizational context. These can be for profit, non-profit, or governmental issues. It is important to focus on the people interacting with the user's needs, whether the end goal is to increase efficiency, accuracy, accessibility, or simplicity to gain a meaningful understanding. So, what does this really mean? As an organization, there are a lot of questions that arise when structuring information management. Questions such as, how is the information recorded? How is it stored? How is it retrieved and distributed? These are the essential questions that a person should ask throughout the whole organizational process. But most importantly, we must figure out which information has legitimacy. And in other words, we need to figure out which information is valuable and which information is not. To answer these questions, organizations apply the process view for information management. The process view breaks down into 5 different steps. First of all, you have to acquire or gather the large amount of raw data. Once you gather all the information, you must store and categorize information into a database or information structure of some sort. Then it is possible to communicate the information. This can happen in 2 phases. Initially, it will informally be communicated and transferred between people within the company. Then the information can be formally distributed and consequently becomes more accessible and useful. Then the final step of the process is application. The information is formally implemented in order to improve the systems and processes within the company. And now we will explore how this is applied in a large company like Amazon.
Information management at Amazon compares to information management at, say, a smaller company like a startup?
I think you're going to find more differences than similarities, actually. Unless you find a startup that's in the business of like serving millions and millions of customers, billions of transactions and everything. There's just complexity alone is massive. So like Amazon, we're using information systems to we instrument our website. We're capturing all kinds of data signals, and we need to cleanse and normalize that data so that we can use it to make various business decisions relating, on massive scale. Information management evolved with the company, and it's usually used for specific purposes, but in specific departments. For example, operations may want to look at the same data that we're looking at the product team for different purposes, and so the way in which we normalize that data, filter it, is going to be completely different. I think there's way more need for information management. But it's very specific to the business that you're in, what type of startup it is.
So Andrew, what's the difference of information management between a startup company and a large company?
Amazon has tons of data about all of its customers, data about all of the businesses that it works with to gain products, but it also has many employees that can spend their time being insensitive. And so there's an opportunity there that they can actually capitalize on because they have the resources to do that. When you compare that to a small company like the one that we've started here, we have 5 employees and we're all working crazy hours trying to get just the basic functionality of the product working. We have hundreds of millions of data points about customer activity that we have 0 time to actually understand and analyze. And yet we have the exact same information management challenges. We just don't have the resources or time to make sense of what that data means for our business. Whereas Amazon can usually just hire somebody else to analyze that data and they don't have to have an engineer stop working. So it really is a resource question. So really the cycle is identify some question that we have, almost like a research research question. Start gathering data sources to help us answer that, unless we already have a data source. Find some way of analyzing that data that helps us answer that question. And then once we've answered that question, use that answer to make a business decision about how to change and evolve the product or service that we offer.
To summarize their interviews, David from Amazon explained how there is a huge difference in complexity and scale of information systems. Also, he talked about transporting information between various large departments versus between smaller groups of people. Next, Andy mentioned that the difference in information management is really just a difference of resources. Both face many of the same problems regarding information management. However, Amazon and other large organizations have the resources to understand that information better. Overall, it sounds like information management as a process is used in all organizations. Every institution has to face all the different steps of the process view. Though organizations scale, some parts become more challenging than others and they begin to face different issues. Beyond just scale, the goals and purposes of the organizations also seriously affect how information management is handled. Companies must conduct the process of information management with versatility, approaching it from their own organizational context and examining the intersecting elements piece by piece. As we've heard in class, information systems are designed for people, and the systematic practice of information management by these companies allow them to better understand their stakeholders.
You can tell everybody, yeah, you can tell